Good morning, my friends. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I am slightly overwhelmed of the amount of comments I got on the new Chanel palette. Thank you so much. This channel was actually intended just for my friends because I always got questioned how I did my makeup. My name is Sia, I'm 47. I'm not a makeup professional. I have been working in a makeup counter. I have been freelancing in the 90s, so it doesn't count, a bit as a makeup artist, but I'm not officially trained. I've just been a lover of makeup, and since I'm from the 20th century, we actually got our knowledge from books. So most of my knowledge I acquired from the likes of Kevin Aucoin and Serge Lutens and the other great ones from books. I have all of the Kevin Aucoin books and I still read in them from time to time. But I absolutely love makeup, and it's somewhat of an addiction of mine. So if you're new here, that's about everything you need to know about me. I do have some noisy cats and noisy kids. Well, technically adults now. They're almost 20 and 22, but they still live at home. So if you hear some noise, it's probably them. I'm also based in Stockholm, Sweden. So English is not my first language. I'm actually bilingual somewhat, depending on how tired I am. I do speak both British English and American English, and sometimes when I'm tired, I tend to mix them up. So if I do that, I do apologize. Normally, I speak mostly British English because I do that for work. So I tend to stick to the British English. But I absolutely can speak American English if that's easier for you. So please let me know in the comments if you prefer to hear it in American English or if you prefer to hear it in my normal British English. I am not doing anything particular today. I'm going to my hairdresser. We are starting to film again for the TV series that I do for work. I'm in a workplace reality TV called Pantbanken på turné. And we are currently filming the second season of that version, but it's technically the 5th season of the workplace reality. I'm starting off with Le Beige Eau de Teinte, the Water Fresh tint. This one is very, very light coverage. I really enjoy it, especially on days when I'm not doing anything particular. If I wear it for work, I normally actually would put on some concealer. And I normally don't wear that much concealer, to be honest. I mean, absolutely my face is nowhere near flawless by any means. But I don't have any I don't have a lot of darkness. I more actually have problems with my under eyes being very puffy and light. So that's not something I want to accentuate. So I usually don't use concealer to lighten up. I more use it to cover the white puffy eyes. I had an awful lot of comments on my last video, which I'm completely stunned. And my number of subscribers increased tremendously. I'm not one to search for subscribers in that sense. If you want to subscribe, I'm really happy. But it's, as I said, I'm doing this for my friends because they want to know more about how I do my makeup. And I love makeup. And I buy an awful lot of makeup. So I'm happy to try it on. And I'm not sponsored in any sense. I only buy what I'm wearing, unless it's a gift from a friend. But apart from that, nothing is sponsored. Everything is purchased by me. So if I don't really like anything, I will let you know, because then I don't want you to buy it, technically. Sorry, I have my morning coffee here. I had another lovely person telling me about my lighting experience. They said that since I'm very fair and I have a lot of black on, that the lighting on my camera can get a little bit weird. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to try and buy some more grey tops to wear for the videos. I usually wear black on my everyday, so um, it's somewhat problematic for me. I'm usually dressed as an undertaker 90% of the time. Since I work with jewelry, I'm a gemologist and a valuer, and I am head of Scandinavia's largest pawnbroker, their jewelry section. So I tend to always wear very boring black clothes because I want jewelry to stand out. That's literally it. And I want my makeup to stand out, of course. So I can absolutely go to work wearing a crazy green eye like I did yesterday. Well, that one wasn't so crazy, but I can go crazy sometimes. I usually do for like Halloween and Valentine's Day. I usually do like a very, very strong red or pink makeup, which my bosses find quite hilarious. And since I'm wearing glasses, half of it disappears anyway. I did have a lot of comments, as I said, and some of them were about people asking if this palette, the new palette, sorry, my phone is a little bit wobbly. If the new palette looks like this, absolutely love this. If it would suit darker skin tones, I'm cautiously saying yes. It could work, but I think it would be quite a few of these lighter shades that you could only use as an inner corner or a brow bone. They do have a little bit of transparency. I'm not sure if it's enough if you have a super deep skin tone, so I would recommend, if it's possible for you, to go to the Chanel store and try it out. I don't want to tell you to buy it because this is an expensive one. I think I paid in the region of 150 US dollars, depending on the conversion rate, because I bought it in Sweden. But I thought I would do a somewhat dark smoky eye with this one, so you can see how dark it can go, and then use some of the lighter shades as well, brow bone highlights and things like that. Yeah, so that's the plan for today. I put on some of my much loved Urban Decay Primer Potion. I also haven't tried these without the Primer Potion because I always put on Primer Potion or any kind of, well, primer for the lids because I have slightly hooded eyes. I could try it if you want me to, just let me know in the comments. I'm happy to try it for you, of course. But in general, in my everyday life, I always wear primer. I don't usually wear primers on my face. I do from time to time, but it's not something that's in my routine. So I'm gonna actually start with the darkest one and put it all over my lid and work it upwards. Gonna see, these are very subtle. In general, they're not very highly pigmented. If you enjoy that, that's brilliant. I normally prefer more pigmented shadows. So the Chanel shadows, I don't buy all of them. I'm not a collector in any sense. But the last ones that I have purchased, I have really, really enjoyed. The latest one that I purchased was the new Le Beige eyeshadow in Soft, the lightest one. And I got blown away by that one because otherwise I've only purchased the little quads that have these kind of baked shades. And I do love baked shadows, don't get me wrong, but the Chanel ones have been quite softly pigmented. And if you've been around my channel for a while, I usually talk a lot about Pat McGrath. And Pat McGrath is the mother of all makeup. I absolutely love her eyeshadows. They are highly pigmented. You can blend them out into nothing. For me, the problem with the Pat McGrath ones are that normally they don't have any transition colors that suit my skin color, which is fine because I know I'm paler than most. And I find it much more important that they are inclusive towards the darker spectrum because, as we all know, most makeup brands, including Chanel, are not. And I find that very disturbing in days like these. So I'm absolutely happy with trying to make it work anyhow. But I absolutely love her. And the good thing about Pat McGrath shadows are that a lot of them, especially the more shiny ones, they have a clear base. So I can wear them on my super pale, well, right now I have a tan. I know it doesn't look like it, but to me this is about as dark as I get. I'm about a light in color. Normally I'm a fair. I am usually the color of skimmed milk. I am almost see-through white with a slightly blue undertone and some redness on my face. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? So yeah, normally I struggle because there usually isn't any light colors light enough for me to use on my inner corners. This one would not probably work as an inner corner. It's more of a topper shade. So there isn't really a light enough color as an inner corner. I can make it work now, absolutely, but I think in the winter time it will probably not. But as you can see, I am still using the same dark shadow and I am pulling it out. So you can see it actually turns into somewhat of a transition shade. And that's usually what I do with the Pat McGrath shadows as well. You can actually normally shear them out enough to be able to wear them as transitions. And that's what high quality eyeshadows are doing. I do also love Natasha Denona, and a very quite recently discovered favorite, absolute favorite of mine is the brand Isamaya. These good guys. This one is not my favorite. I don't think it's the same quality as these two. This is the Industrial Core 1 and 2, well 1.0 and 2.0. This is the Wild West. I don't know if it's called Wild West. It has horses on it. The mattes in it are beautiful. Sorry, my phone is getting a bit crooked, so I'm sorry if you get seasick. I just have to move it around. The color story in those ones, I will show you. Looks like that. A bit crazy, I know, but I do use a lot of crazy colors as well. I'm not always the basic bitch. But these ones, they are my ride or die. I will not be without these. I absolutely love these. This is the kind of artistry that we saw from Pat McGrath in the beginning. Her subversive palette is still one of my absolute favorites. And I will wear it and use it until the day I die, probably. I absolutely love it. My plan is to be a bit like Vivienne Westwood. I want to be the 80-year-old wearing black lipstick and not giving a fuck. That is the plan. Sorry for my foul language. I'm sorry. I do swear like a sailor sometimes. That's why this is not intended for kids. So if you are below 18, turn it off. I do swear. Okay, let's try and use this shade as an inner corner. I'm not sure that that will work. I'm gonna try. We'll see. I think probably on a darker skin tone person it will be beautiful, because it does have a somewhat like grayish kind of shade. But on me, it's absolutely a color. I can make it work, but I would prefer to have a lighter color. But I don't know if you can see it, but it is quite sheer. I hope you can. I am currently filming on my iPhone Pro Max 15. I am waiting on the Pro Max 18 to be released because it's time. My phone is getting very, very hot and it's acting weird. So I am planning on upgrading my phone, so hopefully the video might be a little bit better. I don't know. I'm happy with my phone otherwise. So I just went in with the grey. I'm going to take this one underneath my eyes a bit. Oh my god, I've gotten a zit. Jesus. Who knew at 47 you would get zits? Lovely. Makes me feel a bit young again. I did have a lot of acne when I was younger. Well, not big acne, I just had like red bumps. I remember telling my mom I felt like I looked like a pizza margherita because I was red and lumpy. And I was probably about 10. I hit puberty very early. So by the time I was like 14, it had passed, thankfully, when everyone else turned red and lumpy. But it was very annoying nonetheless. This brown actually has a bit of purple. It has a slight red purple. I have brown eyes, but well, technically I don't have brown eyes. I have hazel eyes. So I can tell that this shade actually makes my eyes look a little bit more green, because it does have this sort of like purplish, reddish thing going on, which is fun. I like that. And when I put on like red makeup, yeah, I can actually see that my eyes are green. One eye is more green than the other, which bugs me a bit. Well, it doesn't bug me. It is what it is. I can't do anything about that. But I'm taking the grayer one, using it as a brow highlight. Sorry, my English today. Stumbling on my words. It does work as a brow highlight on me, actually. It does look a little bit grey, but that's fine. I also bought from Chanel the Nuit Astral, the blue one, the first blue one that they came out with. Then they came with the denim collection. I did not pick that one up. I'm not a very blue person. And I actually bought the Nuit Astral because everyone was like, oh my god, I love it, it's wonderful. I don't like it. It's okay. I mean, quality-wise, it's perfect. It's just not my color story. I will wear it for sure, but it's not my best one. I did also pick up, probably a year ago, they had the Utopia limited edition one. I loved that one. That is my jam. It's very light though, so that one is absolutely not inclusive. But for me, that was perfect. Okay, I am then gonna go in with some kajal. Let's see which one I'm gonna use today. Everything is a mess on my table. I'm actually gonna go with my very true and trusted MAC. This is called something in the region of 24-hour something. Extreme Black in Extreme Dimension 24-hour Kajal eyeliner. What is it with people and the long names? Jeez. This one I absolutely love. This is one of my favorite black ones, as I said in the last video. When I put it on, it stays. And I'm doing my tight lining. I'm going to do the upper lid and the lower. So I'm just putting it on my lash line. Pulling a bit more on my puffy eye bags. I'm not wearing any lenses today, so then I can go ham. I'm then going to put on my mascara. This is also by Chanel. Chanel is a favorite brand of mine. This is the new Le Beige mascara. I love this one. I only have the black one. I am planning on buying the brown one because I've run out of brown mascara. There we go. There we go. I did a little mess, but I will take that off in a bit. I am then, since this is a slightly grayish purplish kind of look, I am gonna put on my Merit blush. This is in the color, I think this is Bespoke. We actually don't have this at Sephora in Sweden, and well, I haven't seen it in Europe anywhere. I've looked in Sephora in Spain and a couple of other places, but they do have it online. But it's, I don't know why. Why would you have a blush and not put it along with the rest of the blushes? I don't get it. I have Archival and I have Bespoke from the Merit line. Are they my favorite blushes? No, not really. Are they okay? Yeah, absolutely. I'm putting it on a little old Real Techniques brush. I do love the colors, but yeah, they're fine. But these kind of colors I love for fall. I have this one that I love, and I have, well, I use my Farah Hamidi bronzer. This is in the shade Bois. Looks like that. That has also slightly a kind of purplish leaning tone. Since I have a weird undertone, I am slightly blue. Everything tends to turn orange on me. So I do struggle a lot with bronzers. But weirdly enough, I actually purchased one from Kiko. I know that the US don't have Kiko Milano yet, but if you travel to Europe, I would highly recommend you going to Kiko because the quality of their makeup is absolutely brilliant. This is a collab that they did with Just Cavalli, which is an Italian designer, Roberto Cavalli. Just Cavalli is his like other line. I think he's passed now, but it's a good brand. It's very Saint-Tropez, very like colorful and shiny and fun. I did purchase this one, but they do release these kind of baked, somewhat shiny bronzers every year, and that one I actually love. It's a really, really good one on me, which I was surprised with because I thought it would definitely turn like golden weird looking, but that one has worked out really well this summer. I'm sure it will turn yellow in the winter time when I'm at my fairest, but there we go. I like this. This color I really, really love. The longevity, it's a bit so-so. Cream blushes in general, I mean, I used to hate them. And my best friend, who's also a makeup addict, we talk a lot about makeup. We walk around and try out makeup. That's what we do, mostly. Apart from drink coffee, insane amounts of coffee. Well, in my case anyways, she doesn't drink as much as I do. Swedes are very coffee-loving people. We have something called fika, which means coffee break. And everyone does that at work. it's a mandatory thing. You sit down with your colleagues, you have coffee for a good 15 minutes. In my workplace, we have it twice a day. We have actually breakfast. We have breakfast for 15 minutes where everyone sits down and have breakfast together. Well, we have to do it in teams because the shop is open, but it's absolutely lovely to be able to sit down with your co-workers and enjoy their company. In my case, I have the best co-workers in the world. A part of my job is actually tutoring. I teach them about gemstones, I teach them about jewelry, and I actually travel a lot and bring colleagues with me. I will soon be off and meet Kim, one of my followers that you've probably seen comment on my videos. We are going to Vicenza in Italy, where we are going to the Sibjo Congress. Sibjo is the World Jewelry Confederation. We are a part of one of their valuing commissions that they have just instated. On that one, I'm actually traveling alone, but then I'm going to the Jewelry Valuers Association of the UK in UK, and I'm bringing 5 colleagues with me. So it's a valuation conference that we have each year, which is immensely fun. Last year I was one of the speakers. I mostly speak on Scandinavian jewelry and things like that, Scandinavian hallmarking, and well, but this year I'm just participating, which is, I love it. It's one of the highlights of my year. And then after that, I'm going straight to Hong Kong to the jewelry show, where I'm bringing 11 colleagues with me and showing them around Hong Kong, which is one of my favorite places in the world. And we're going to eat a lot of nice food. I've booked so many nice restaurants, and we are going to look at so much jewelry and gemstones that they are going to have complete meltdowns, because that is one of the biggest gem shows in the world. So I'm probably going to be a little bit dodgy about filming. If I have the time, I will try to film from the hotel in Hong Kong. I'm usually only bringing like a little, I have like a little light that I can put on my camera, and I have a teeny tiny little tripod. That's it, and I usually bring the mics. I did try to do this when I went to Maastricht earlier this year. I couldn't upload it because the Wi-Fi at the hotel was crap. So I'm not sure if I will be able to film, but I am starting my travels in about 2 weeks, and then I will be off all through. I'm leaving on the 3rd of September, and then I'll be back on the 23rd. So I'm going to be away for a good 20 days. Yeah, so that's it. So this is the look, the final look for today. This is as dark as I can get this palette. But on the other hand, this shade is actually the main reason that I wanted this palette, because I thought this one was just perfection to me. I really love it when you have like a dark brown that's slightly purplish grey kind of leaning, because that's usually what works best with my coloring. So tomorrow I'm going to try and do one with the lightest shades for you, so you don't buy this without knowing what it looks like. I love it. I hope if you buy it that you will love it too. But if you are in the least uncertain if it will work for you, please go and try it out before buying it, because it's a lot of money to spend on something, and I really don't want you to spend money on something that you can't wear. That would break my heart. And the reason why I'm making these videos is to let you know what I think of them. So anywho, thank you very much for joining me today, and welcome to my channel if you're new. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Or if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Have a lovely day, a lovely weekend. Bye.